Yo, what's up? It's the Heavyist podcast, weekly worship at the altar of radness. Gary Trelease, how are you?
I am very well, thank you, Sonny. I am great, although it has got bloody cold. Hence why I'm wearing a woolly hat today rather than a baseball cap.
Yes, I'm also wearing a fleece inside my house. We've got a fun show today. We are going to be talking about a couple of fantastic releases. We're going to chat a little bit about Damnation Festival, which I attended. I realised that was like a week ago now, but I was all sick last week, probably because of brushing up against all those Grebos.
Yeah,
most likely, yeah. There's a bit of news. We've got everything. This is a bit of a longer one. We're doing things, we're going back to old school, right? Rather than chopping things out and turning ourselves into like these little people that exist in 12-minute bursts, we're just going to record an old school podcast and then we'll chop up the bits for YouTube and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm hoping, this will have a bit of old school flavour.
This is like if this is audio content that we're doing right now. No one else will get this other than the audio homies. So
basically, and if you're not, if this is your first time listening to us or watching us, thank you. We're here talking about really good heavy music all the bloody time. So if you wanted to do a little sub on the YouTube, that'd be fantastic. Wouldn't it be so good, Gary?
That would be absolutely beautiful. And if you're an audio enjoyer, go to your YouTube and sub anyway. Just do it.
Just go in there. Just go submush.
And if you don't have a YouTube account, then where do you live? Under a rock or something? What's going on? Maybe make 5 new ones and sub to every one.
That's a shout.
Why has no one thought to do that before?
I don't know. I think there's entire industries around that.
Yeah, I think there might be.
So Gary, couple of weeks ago, I went to Damnation. It was absolutely sick. I think it's my 3rd time going to Damnation, 4th time maybe. I think 3rd.
Unless you went a 4th secret time that I didn't go to, then yeah,
maybe
you did. I tell you,
it was fantastic, mate. It was very, very. It was obviously it was sad not to have you there, but not having you there was for for good reason.
For a noble
got
reason.
Duties.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had a great time with the homies. It was, just what a beautiful thing about like having done this podcast for a while is that we've made like really lovely mates. Like went and hung out exclusively with all the homies from the podcast that we know, which is
that.
How nice is that? How nice is that? That like in our like late 30s we've just like made a new bunch of mates. That don't happen, does it? That's quite that don't happen. You get your school up.
We're like Andy's Man Club for riffs, aren't we?
So yeah, it was really, really great. We had a great time. The lineup was phenomenal this year. It's always great. It's always so varied and brilliant, and there's always these just like pockets of like insanity that I just can't wait to see. So just going to like talk about some of my favourites, because if we're here to talk about every band I've been, I'll be absolutely KO'd by the end of it, Gary. The first band that I've thoroughly was right, got to get there to see on day one was Necrot. Necrot, mate. They were brilliant. I'm a big Necrot fan. I bought this hat off them, Gary.
Yep. Looking very nice.
Super stoked. They were brilliant. They were just like note perfect. The vocalist, he is just like, he seems like the best geezer to go down the pub with ever. Like, he just seems like an absolute laugh. They played loads of great tracks. They really like played all the best stuff off their albums. It was a brilliant set. Really great energy throughout. And there was this one point where it goes right. I want to like after one of the songs had started. He's like right. He's like let's make these security guards like earn their keep, right? Start doing some, because there hadn't been any crowd surfing up until that point. And then before a song had even started, 3 people had crowd surfed. There was just dry crowd surfing, and it's one of the funniest things.
That's brilliant. Why doesn't that happen more often?
I know.
Dry crowd surfing.
He hadn't even started riffing yet, and there was just bodies flying at him. It was absolutely brilliant. People were just obviously so up for it because it was early on the first
for someone
day.
to invite them to do it, being very British about it. Yeah,
they were. They just couldn't wait. They were just fantastic. I was really, really stoked to see them. They were phenomenal. Just brilliant death metal band. One of like the bands that really like got me bang into death metal. When like Mortal came out, I just spun it like just endlessly, and it became just one of my favorite death metal albums. It still is. So yeah, it was really great to see them. The next band that really blew me away was Mesa. They were brilliant, mate. They were fantastic. Her voice, like live, was everything you hoped it would be. It's like I doubt anyone with a better singing voice is going to sing on that stage for a while, mate. Like,
no, that's a fair point.
Yeah, you better hope you're just completely screaming after she goes up, because it's game over. You look like a right mug.
I was interested to see how they would have gone down in a generally more kind of extreme metal lineup. Were people like into it?
Definitely, yeah. It seemed to translate really well, and I've seen nothing but praise for them. Like we covered their album probably 4 years ago now, something like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like this album really hit like really well, and like there's
definitely doing bits.
It's doing bits. I think their profiles raised massively, and they just smashed it. They were just gorgeous, and ethereal. And then Portrayal of Guilt. Were phenomenal. Portrayal of Guilt, I've only seen live once before, and it was in a very, very, very tiny venue in Portsmouth, like the little like side room in the Wine Vaults in Pompey. It's a tiny little venue, and they sounded amazing then. But then them on this stage, oh my god, they were unreal. Old Matt King, he looked hench as hell, dude. He's definitely been getting jacked, and like the whole time behind him they had this like really cool like eerie visual that was playing through, and I think they've got that like long form video, so it might have been that. I'm not sure.
The EP that they did, which they did the kind of chamber music version and the regular like grindcore version. The same tracks, wasn't it? And they had that really cool like black and white visual that they had.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was this black and white visual that was just really, really cool, and it just really it really enhanced the whole set. Like the vibes were immaculate. Like there was I don't think I saw anyone make as good use of those, like that really cool board like behind them. Board is a bit of the screen. It's a board. Like throughout the weekend, it just really, really, really just like enhanced. Because they're only 3 people, and he really just stands there and is really hench, minimal chat, just like cool geezer. So like getting that those visuals was brilliant.
Sick,
they were amazing. Gieria. on that day as well. I was really hyped to see Garia. I'll tell you what, Gary, I don't think people like those new songs.
No, really?
Nah, bro. I felt, I don't know if it was people were just warming up to him or whatever, but I felt like that should have been a room full of Garia fans. And those new tracks just seemed to go down like a lead balloon. It was quite, it was they definitely won the crowd over sort of by the end. But yeah, I didn't get the reaction that I thought they'd get on those new tracks.
That's good. I mean, we do always say about Garia that they're just the most enjoyable live black metal band because they really like throw themselves at it and they put on a show which is sometimes lacking a bit in that scene. You get a lot of bands, you know, when we went to Fortress and we saw and they walked in the throne room who are very cool but do just stand still with robes on, and it's nice to you watch a band like Garia and they're just like they're absolutely into it and they've got incredible stage presence and they're excited and fun to watch. But I'm interested to hear this new album. We'll definitely be talking about that on the show in March for sure.
Me too. I'm really, really keen to hear it. Like I'm just want to know where their sound's going. I mean, I think we know where it's going, but is it all that? Is there, you know, like how much are they committing to it? How much are they going to sort of potentially alienate this fan base that they've got? Like, it's going to be a sticky one, mate.
Oh, okay.
That was the best things I saw day one. Day two, right?
Before you get into it though, like day two, hang on a second, day two. Before you get into it, 2-day Damnation. How do you feel about 2-day Damnation as a concept? Because from what I gather, they're keeping it. Well, at least for the next year, they're keeping it a 2-day. How did you feel about a 2-day Damnation? Were you into it? Was it exhausting? Were you kind of like, just looking for someone to sit down? Like where was your head at?
Second day. I was really, really looking for places to sit down. So this is my new festival tech, Gary. You might not even believe that I didn't have a single drink on the second day. Sober day at the festival. Yeah, bro.
Bullshit.
Nah, bro.
You had one beer or so at least.
I bought a second coffee at 7:00. I was like, because it was the warning day, right? And I was I was like, I'm in an R-in, and like I'd had a skinful the night before, and I just thought, like, what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna enjoy this day. I'm not gonna focus on needing to buy 700 pints like I did the day before.
Yeah.
I'm not like gonna punctuate every sort of interaction or like go between band with buying another pint. Like it was a sober day, but I was quite tired. Like towards the end of it, it was a lot of standing up, and obviously seating's limited. They're obviously super aware of that, and they're trying to make more seating and things like that. And they did put out more seats, and so it's a long slog. But yeah, I think 2-day, like, it makes a lot of sense. There's just so many sick bands. Like there's enough bands to fill that, and it did well. It was super well attended. I think it might as well be 2 days. Like for me, like, you know, we like got to go all the way up there, right? Like
it's a
it's
long
not just
journey
popping like an hour down the road. So like I'm up for 2 days. Like it makes sense.
The other point I'm hearing raised quite a lot, which I think is definitely valid, is that having 2 days means they can kind of take a few more punts and do a bit more experimentation. If you haven't just got like, right, well, we've just got to feel a solid day of like, you know, loads of extreme stuff. They can try some stuff. They can book a band like Messer, which aren't necessarily the kind of standard type of band you'd get, you know, or Crippling Alcoholism, although unfortunately they didn't actually end up playing. But like, you can try some more experiments in your lineup if you've got 2 days, and you know you've got room to fit all of the, you know, the tentpole type of bands that you're going to fit in there, and have some space left in to try some things out. So I think, I'm keen on the idea of it staying 2 days. Hopefully everybody else does, and people vote with their wallets, you know.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I blindbirded my next year's ticket anyway.
Yeah.
I'm in. It's happening. I'm going again. So day 2, Stamping Ground, dude. They were phenomenal, bro.
I'm so glad you went
was,
to see Stamping Ground, dude.
bro, it was absolutely off its nut. Like, they had the crowd in the palm of their hand. The mosh was mental. They did a sick wall of death. It was fantastic. They were having so much fun. It was a brilliant set. Then the other stuff, Pig Destroyer, bro. Pig Destroyer were definitely the second best band I saw all weekend, and the band I'm going to say was the best band I saw all weekend was like sort of it's impossible for anything to sort of top that. So they might have been the greatest performance outside of my own personal bias that I saw. Like, it was phenomenal. They were just the drums with Pig Destroyer literally sounded like the best kick pedals I've ever heard in my life, like, come through speakers. They were nice. It was just so beautiful to hear. It was so heinous, and there was so much energy, and the keyboard guy was going absolutely ham. It was phenomenal. It was such a brilliant set that, like, as soon as they finished, I went and treated myself to a t-shirt.
Sick.
Which is also the beauty of doing the second day sober at the festival, Gary. You save up your merch token, you save up your beer tokens, and you go down the bureau de change and you trade them in for merch tokens. So it's a good plan. I think I'm gonna do it from now on, man.
Respect to you, dude. Like,
yeah,
that's cool. Oh man, I've only ever seen Pig Destroyer once. So I saw them, well, they played like Natasha in full, which is their like Doom EP. So it was a bit of a different vibe to what I can imagine you saw.
Well, their set was brilliant, mate, and that's what you get with a band with like such a brilliant legacy band with so many albums. You get these, you just run the gamut of extremities. Like, you have those really cool like sludge and roll kind of things come in. You have those doomy aspects. You have the full on fucking proper grindy shit, and then it's just a phenomenal thing as a heavy music fan to watch Pig Destroyer. Like, they just blew me away. I mean, I knew they were going to be fantastic, but I didn't expect to enjoy it just as much as I did. It was superb, mate.
Sick, dude.
And then Warning on the Sunday. That was kind of the band that I bought my ticket for. Like, I love that band. I love that EP. I never thought I'd get to see it live. As soon as they announced, I was like, "Bomb, I'm in!" Like, it's happening. Just an incredible experience. Like, I was getting a bit worried. So they were on the smaller stage at the back. You know, the little smaller one.
I know the one, the third room. Yeah.
Yeah. So like throughout the weekend, in terms of like the most t-shirts you see, obviously it was Blood Incantation on top. Blood Incantation was the most merched band there by a mile, and but then secondly, I swear it was Warning. I don't know if it was just I was seeing the t-shirts, but they were selling the merch there, and this is before they're on. You know, this is like over the 2 days. Their merch was up on the Saturday, so it was there the whole weekend, and you could just see that people have just been picking it up or they've come wearing it, and I just saw loads of them. So like, a couple of like hours before they played, I said to the guys I was with, I was like, I'm getting a bit worried about getting a good spot for Warning. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and watch the band watch the end of Mantar, who are obviously sick anyway.
Yeah.
And then there's an hour break in that room or whatever it was, like 45 minutes or something before they played. And I was like, I'm just going to stay in that room. So we just like literally like sat down in that room while it was empty, sat down near the front. And as soon as people started coming in, I was right at the front.
Hell yeah!
Like I was in prime position. I'd earned that position, and it was phenomenal, mate. He was just so incredibly good. You could tell like sort of the emotional toll that it sort of takes on him performing, because like after like the first track, he was trying to speak, but he couldn't really say much. He just would sort of go. And he would just sort of smile, you know, like it was like he wanted to say something, but then he just sort of overloaded and brain farted and just was like, you know, like it was just so earnest and honest, and like it was just phenomenally beautiful. He sounded pitch perfect as well. It was just truly, truly brilliant. Now, Gary, what I'm about to tell you is not cool. It's not cool for me to say this to you, that I'm stoked about it, but I have to tell you about it because it's probably like the coolest thing that's happened to me ever. Right? So the Saturday, see Patrick in the merch tent, and I go up to him and like sort of grovel at him a little bit, and no, like I tried to maintain my coolness and would just like introduce myself and said like, hi, like thank you for making music, you're the man and stuff. And I was sort of trying to talk him round to be like, I've got a podcast, like do you know who's doing your PR? Because like when it comes to like the album thing, like I'd love to have you on, like I'd just love to chat to him. Which I have since secured, by the way, which is sick. That's on the cards. I'm going to do that. But as I'm talking to Patrick, and I'm being like, "Oh, I've got a podcast. I'd like you to come on." Like as I'm doing it, some geezer tapped me on the shoulder and went, "Mate, I love your shit," or like, "I follow you," or like, "I think you're the podcast." Like, so I got validated.
Yeah, it couldn't have happened at a better time.
It couldn't have happened at a better time possible. I got completely validated in front of the man that I was trying to validate myself to, and it was so sick. It was like that. It was beautiful.
That's great.
Yeah,
you're right. That's not cool.
It's not cool, is it? But
whatever.
It's honest.
Don't worry
bloody
about being
honest.
Cool. Too many people spend too much time worrying about being cool. Like,
so yeah, it was the highlight of my weekend.
Mate,
that was early on the day, Saturday. Yeah, it was great.
I love that. I'm glad you had a good time, man. I obviously was gutted to not attend, but you know, family things come first, unfortunately. But I will endeavour to do my best to go next year. Maybe we'll do another vlog. So doing a vlog.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and I'll run to do some interviews next year. I reckon if we can. I think we can swing it. I think it's a
anybody
who's
got any sway at Damnation watching, hit us up. Emails in the bio. I guess.
we'll talk to people about supermarkets and stuff. It'll be well good. I'll ask them what I'll ask like Anna and Afrat what their favourite meal deal is. It'll be wicked.
People need to know that. It's top quality content. Mate, yeah, that's absolutely sick. Should we talk about some riffs, some new music?
Let's.
Mate, I really want to start with Lamp of Murmuur. Lamp of Murmuur. Black metal project fronted by and masterminded by M, which stands for the mythical Archduke of all rebellion. Glory to thee, by the way.
Glory to thee!
But he doesn't hail from the icy tundras of Scandinavia. He's actually from LA, which is hilariously inappropriate. Their new album is called The Dreaming Prince in Ecstacy. It was released on November the 14th through Wolves of Hades Records. I'm not entirely sure where Lamp of Murmuur were put on my radar. I feel maybe it might have been That's Not Metal, to be fair. It was their album Air of Elliptical Romanticism. Mate, this geezer knows how to give albums names, by the way. Like, absolutely big up to him on his ability to name an album. I checked it out, and it was really interesting because it was this sort of like absolutely horrible, really scuzzy, gross black metal. Way before I was ready to listen to that sort of thing, but it had this sleazy post-punk debauchery level to it that really kind of drew me in. I was like, for some reason, I absolutely should not like this, but I am really enjoying it. Like, this is not my kind of thing, but it's really working for me. And then when they released Saturnian Bloodstorm, they kind of took their sound and made it hi-fi. And straight away I was like, all right, okay, Lamp of Murmuur. This is a cool band. Like, I'm into it. And then we saw him twice. Well, I saw him twice. We saw him at Fortress. I saw him again earlier this year at Incineration. And seeing this band live is an absolute trip, man. They're so cool live. So when I saw that they had a new album coming out, I was well down to check it out.
Yeah, this has been an absolute joy to be listening to, mate.
It's so good.
This album rips. Like, how much disco beat can you get in a black metal album, dude? Like,
right?
Like, dude, it's all swords and boogies, this thing. I love it. It's so sick. Do you know, initially, like, I was like, I couldn't get into the vocals. It took me a little while, like a few years back. Like, I was like, it just sounds like there's 10 geezers. What's going on? Because I was just a bit of a prick. And now I love it. I absolutely love it. I was hyping these singles, and yeah, since it's dropped, mate, I've been absolutely loving it. Like, there's this real sort of gothic, romantic sort of leaning that this album's got is really cool. Like, just adding in this sort of dreamy cloud of brilliance. Like, the Dreaming Prince in Ecstasy, right? I like the way that when they do tracks, sometimes they'll sort of like nuzzle in the leads. Like, these leads are just below the mix, or like, you know, a lot of bands would like put them right up high in the mix, and that'd be like the thing. That'd be like the thing that people do to them live. And like, they don't. They sort of like, they have this sort of ball of energy that's sort of like led by the vocals, and I'm just, it's the drums, really. I think it's like the drums are really sort of front and center.
Yeah, they definitely are. And I think that gives the whole thing this really, really strong forward momentum. Like, I would not recommend listening to this album while you're out on a run, because I think you'd end up doing a super hands. Like,
I've accidentally run to Windsor.
What?
Yeah, I've mistakenly run to Windsor.
It's got loads. It's really like rollicking, isn't it? It's got this sort of gallop to it, really, like, quite often, which I think works really well. But then when you kind of get into it, I'm not surprised you love it, because it's essentially like if you took the AFI album and shoved it up the Black Braid album's arse. This is essentially what you get with this record. It's like black metal with this element of like gothic dreariness added to all over it, which just works absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, you're totally right. And it's got like, there's like the sung section in there, which sounds great. It's got a proper like Mac McNerney, like, it definitely feels like he pops up, doesn't it? All gothic and lush, and then it has this like triumphant solo. Like, there's moments the way that the drums are produced, that the like the crashes sort of simmer into each other, and it almost like blends in like rainfall. Like, that happens a few times in the record, and it's so good. It's such a textural delight, this thing.
Yeah, man. There's like additional instrumentation and all sorts of stuff that's thrown in there to kind of give it this really cinematic vibe, but then they don't lose sight of where they came from, and make sure that it's got that kind of to tape scuzziness that you'd expect from a proper black metal band. Like, they're trying to keep their true cult cred whilst also doing loads of really cool, exciting extra stuff. And I really enjoy the structure of the record as well, where it kind of starts really tight and concise, and then as you work through the track, I mean, I say tight and concise, some of the songs are 10 minutes long, but even still, like, the first sort of few tracks are very tight and concise, and like the album, I think the album's a bit of a mullet, right? It's tight and structured in the front, and it's loose and flowing in the back. Like, as the kind of the tracks progress, they get a bit more free form, and they kind of experiment a bit more and try like doing just more weird things and seeing what they could kind of get away with. Like, I think the fact that essentially the title track of this record is like a 20-minute like suite of 3 tracks is like this sort of little EP that just kind of happens in the middle of an album, and it's just really awesome. Like, you opening up with Moon Dance, the first section, which is borderline like Metallica, essentially. Like there's moments you sort of gallops and it's got loads and loads of riffs. And then Twilight's Orgasm, which is a fantastic song title, absolutely brilliant. It's just dripping in purple velvet, that song. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
So sort of gothic and like melancholic, and it's incredible. And then the Fall just goes into this really kind of almost like baroque harpsichord or clavichord or whatever it is. I don't know. Very French Revolution, the whole thing. It becomes towards the end. Like, I think it's absolutely brilliant to just have this essentially 25-minute song separated into 3 sections in the middle of this album. And it flies by as well. Like, I was like, how long was it? Oh my God, the album's an hour long and it just completely just evaporated in front of me. It was so cool.
Like, I don't know if it's just like everything good that's like 3 big bits now. I'm just going to think about Absolute Elsewhere, but don't those 3 tracks like coming together do have that, because it's like this really cool sort of like there's these interesting like sci-fi elements, this like spacey like swords in space shit. Like it's got the sort of like the melodic sort of in the middle, and then the finale track is super sort of epic, and there's those like acoustics and they're sort of twinkling in the starlight. There's a brightness to it. It's really sort of like hopeful. Like the end of it is kind of like hopeful and like staring off into the cosmos with like a slight sort of tear and a smile. Like it's just bloody lovely, mate. I think it's so sick, and it's kind of sick that they put that on the album. They didn't just like, because you could easily just turn those 3 tracks into like a banger of an EP or something, and it'd be like Black Metal EP of the year.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Like I think. Yeah, I've definitely got the Absolute Elsewhere comparisons written down as well. Like it's just the journey that suite of tracks takes you on, and the fact that it's nuzzled in between like another 45 minutes of absolute bangers is just greedy almost. It seems like. I think the track Hate Gate is absolutely wonderful. Like the sort of speed metal. Again, like almost a Metallica vibe at the beginning of it, until the blast beats come in and the vocals join in. Obviously, then it kind of disappears away. But that track's awesome. The way it ends with that acoustic song is really interesting. Like this guy's not scared to try something, man. He's not scared to try something. Like black metal is one of those genres where the rules are very specific, and it's almost like this guy plays within the rules and outside of the rules at the same time. That he can almost just make everybody happy. He can make you kind of more, dare I say, hipstery black metal listener like me enjoy it. But then the sort of person who goes to a gig in corpse paint is going to enjoy it too. I think it's really interesting that he's managed to pull that off. Yeah,
it's a pure banger. I'm so stoked on it, man.
Proper good record. It's called The Dreaming Prince and Ecstasy by Lamp of Murmuur. Absolutely well worth your time. And kind of sticking with like black metal savants, we also wanted to chat about Veilburner. Veilburner is the brainchild of Mephisto Deleterio, who writes and records all the instrumentation, and he is joined by Chrism Infernium on vocals. These names, man. These names, where do they come
so
up?
Sick.
They're so good.
That's so sick.
The new album is called Longing for Triumph, Reeking of Tragedy. It was released on November the 14th through Transcending Obscurity. Veilburner are definitely a band whose name I've seen. I mean, we've always got a beady eye on Transcending Obscurity and what those guys are putting out, but these guys are very, very prolific.
Yeah.
They've released essentially an album a year for the last 8 years.
Yeah, like I've kind of been into them for the last like 3 albums. But they're just incredibly consistent, and it's of such a brilliant quality that you're like, hang on, like what are all the other bands doing? Like, how can you do that? It's sort of unfair how brilliant they are, how consistent they are.
Yeah, man. I think this might be the first time I've ever really like properly locked in to Veilburner and checked out what is actually going on, and what is going on is a lot. Like this is like a very maximalist record. There's a lot going on, and the combination of it being like quite syncopated, quite precise for the most part, very riff driven, quite methodically put together instrumentationally, with this one of the most abstract free-form vocal deliveries I think I've ever heard in all of heavy music. Like sometimes you listen to it and you kind of feel like the two things have been recorded independently. Like he doesn't even know what the music sounds like that his vocals are being put on. Like someone's just gone like, right, it's like he's reciting poetry and then they fit music around it almost. It's so disorientating.
I like to think of him as a great black metal thespian.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
It's got that sort of that lurching Aranci Pazuzu like looseness in the delivery where it's just all about sounding absolutely just blackened as fuck, just 100%. summoning just beasts. It's a big thing. This
he delivers his vocals like he's telling a really gnarly ghost story. And I think that really works. It's such an interesting. I've never heard anything like it, I don't think.
And you know, for like how you know, because you look at the FFO for this band, and it's like all the sort of dissonant things that you would expect. It's like it's like Imperial Triumphant, Decibel Omega, bands like that. But there's so much real like cool, big, bouncy riffery that sounds sort of like Immolation or like Meshuggah. Like there's a lot of bands that sort of would make a record this sort of dissonant and as maddening as this, but like probably without balancing the sort of the world building and the storytelling with like actually good composition. Like there's a lot of bands that sort of they try and do that and they just go straight into this, but these guys, like, they manage to keep you sort of intrigued, disgusted, and banging your head throughout the whole thing. It's a really cool sort of middle ground between like, just giving you proper like footholds of riffs to sort of outside of the weirdness, and then it makes the weirdness even more impactful when it happens. Yeah,
definitely. And then those weird like moments where it sounds like the record's been invaded by alien greys, like really stand out. Like that part in Rigger and Wraith, when I was listening to that, I honestly thought aliens were trying to communicate to me. I had to check my bum to make sure that someone hadn't put a probe in it.
Bro, is that a theremin in there?
I think I don't know.
Mate, I was trying.
It's just like a really weird guitar effect, but
I was hoping it was a theremin.
It does sound like a bit like a theremin.
Could be, couldn't it? It comes in and I'm like, ooh, is that black metal theremin? Is it?
It might have happened.
It might be happening, which that just made me so happy.
Use a theremin, so you know it's out there. It's out there in the world. Heavy bands are playing theremins. It just needs to happen more often.
There's just this like element of like pure disgust in the vocals, that sort of like writhing, phlegmy inhumanity, just doing everything he can to not sound like those noises come from a human. Like Petulant Mulch is cool as hell. Like it comes in really sort of warm and bouncy, like not something you would generally get on like a dissonant black and death metal record. Like the delivery just feels like a live exorcism, like a vessel sort of contorting and spewing in tongues. It's, you know, and then underneath all that chaos, there's this almost like driving, almost like Slipknot-y groove riff, which is so cool, which is a really interesting counterpoint to the like live like exorcism it feels like we're witnessing. It's so sick, bro.
Honestly, like I first listened to it, and the way it starts was so odd. I was like, what the bloody hell is going on with this record? But then, like, I was just completely locked into it. There's a bit, it's in that Witch Crypt's Howl's Granger, where he's just like, oh, the horrors! And I was just like, yeah, I'm sold on this, absolutely sold on this record. It's this ridiculously melodramatic vocal that is unlike anything I've ever heard before, just over an absolute monster truckload of riffs. Like, honestly, I don't think that if you're into heavy music, there's kind of nothing you couldn't enjoy in this. There's no one who's going to go to this and go, actually, there probably is quite a lot of people who will go to this and go, this is ridiculous, but fuck it. Like, it's absolutely quality. It's really good. This Veilburner album is a lot of fun and well worth your time. It is called Longing for triumph, reeking of tragedy. And it also has absolutely banging front cover, by the way.
Yeah, phenomenal front
The
cover.
artwork on that album is incredible. Just this like
It's like riding it's like a skeleton riding some sort of scythe penny farthing.
It's a plough made of scythes. It's literally just like pulling up things from the ground and immediately killing them. Like it's awesome. It's really, really cool. Yeah, man. Veilburner, proper banger. Mate, should we do some brutal news? It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, mate. It's been an absolute while. But the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Yes. My boys and yours, Moontooth, are back. The New York progressive rock metal band are here, and they have released an incredible new song. The song is called Eyes. It's part of their upcoming Bastard EP, which is coming out on the 6th of March. They're releasing it independently. And it's such amazing news. I mean, if you went back a few years, when guitarist Nick Lee had encephalitis, he collapsed at band practice. He had to be put into a medically induced coma for 3 weeks, and obviously there were periods of time when people weren't sure if he was going to make it. Then after that, I think he essentially forgot everything he knew about who he was, and then when he started to get that back, he had no dexterity. He essentially had to relearn motor skills to learn to play the guitar again. And just the fact that he did that in itself is incredible.
That's
then
mental, isn't it? That's so sick.
It's so mad, isn't it? The fact that he went from a coma to learning it all again and coming back and writing a song and putting out a banger of this degree. It's just, to be honest, it's just showing off. Like, most people can't do it once. He's done it twice. Like, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, man. I mean, obviously I'm very biased. I adore this band. I think they absolutely rule. Their album Chroma Paragon is maybe one of my top 20 albums ever. I think it's awesome. But this new tune is a complete and utter banger. I don't think I've ever heard them do something this sort of slow before.
Well, I was going to say, the recent albums were very nice. They're very nice, weren't they? They're very, very nice and lovely. And, I feel like this is a bit more Chroma Paragon again. I feel like this has got a bit more of a bite. And I love how it gets heavy as hell in the back end of this thing, Gary. Damn, dude.
It's really good to hear Nick doing vocals again, getting his scream and because that was not present on Phototroph at all. Like there's some good moments on Crux where he screams, but like he's got an absolutely brilliant scream. It's so unique. It's quite like phlegmy and gross, and I think it sounds really interesting against their music because their music's so like, rounded and like elaborate, and then he's just like over the top of it. I just think it works really well, and it contrasts John's like really interesting style of melody really well. And I think, absolutely banging, mate. Really, really glad to have this band back in my life. Yeah,
absolutely stoked to have it. The EP's coming, isn't it?
Yeah, March. They're putting an EP out, 4 tracks. Can't wait. Give it to me now. I want it now. Don't make me wait for it. I want it now. Give it to me now. Yeah, man. New Moontooth. And then I love Moontooth if I manage to put them above in the running order. The next piece of news, which is the mighty kings of metallic hardcore Converge, are coming back. They've been teasing for a few days that they're going to be putting something new out, and it's here. It's called Love Is Not Enough. It's the title track / album opener of the new record, which is due to be released on the 13th of February through Death Wish. So the last thing Converge put out was Blood Moon in 2021. So it's been quite a while since we've had new Converge. And also
like a proper Converge record.
Yeah. Well, this is it. Like, even if Blood Moon is a very different prospect. It's that sort of hour-long post-metal / doom. Had the guests. It was a very different thing. So I guess if you went back even further, I think like All We Love We Leave Behind. No, what was it? What was the last record? It was like 2018. Like it's been
Dusk
quite a
in
long
Us?
time. The Dusk in Us. Thank you, Sonny. The Dusk in Us, I think, came out in like 2018. So it's been a long time since we've had
long
like a
old
sort of
time.
regular Converge record. And this new track just kind of lets us know what we're in for. It's a 2.5 minute rager. It's probably the most like Slayer they've ever heard. They've ever sounded.
Mate, it's a ravenous, frantic, hardcore ripper. It's tight, it's furious, it's brilliant. I'm just so pumped, man. It's just a nice little ball of energy. That video's lovely as well. Like properly, cool, like visually gorgeous. Like, yeah, the thought of a proper Converge record in 2025 or 2026, sorry, is an exciting thing, man. Yeah,
dude. I really like my Converge is like Jane Doe, right? That's kind of that album. I remember the first time I heard Jane Doe, I actually thought I hated it. But then it came out like 2001, so I was listening to bloody Papa Roach and Linkin Park at that point, so I wasn't ready to hear Converge. I was scared shitless. But then like it was one of them things where I couldn't help but go back to it, and then before you knew it, I was hooked. And back in those days, Jake Bannon sounded like a wounded pterodactyl. But I think like the way that he's like aged into his heavy voice, he sounds a lot better now. Like, I mean, I guess it's horses for courses, but I think what he's doing now works really well. Nate Newton is a god. His bass tone is absolutely goated. Like, I watched a video once, right? I found a video online, rig rundown for Nate Newton, and I was like, yes, I'm going to watch this and I'm going to get a tone as good as Nate Newton's. And he was like, right, so what I have, I've got 2 bass amps and a guitar amp. Each one of them costs $3,000. I'm like, well, maybe I'm not going to get a tone like Nate Newton. I go back to Googling Bayringer guitar pedals that cost 20 quid and I just accept that my bass is going to sound crap forever. But yeah, and the art is incredible, obviously. I'm so down for this new Converge record. Love Is Not Enough coming in February. Something that's coming a bit sooner. Godeater. The Boys.
Yeah.
The Boys. Glasgow's finest tech death band. They have a new song out. It's called Leech, and it's taken from an EP due out next week as we record, the 28th of November. The EP is called Alvorecer, which, according to Google, is Portuguese for dawn. Apologies to our hundreds and thousands of Portuguese fans for the way that I pronounce that word. Yeah, the new track Leech it's just pure Godeater, man. It's just exactly what I want. It's atmospheric and foreboding. It's harder than a sack of hammers, and it's more technical than Fermat's Last Theorem. Like, what more could you want from? What more could you want, man? Like, these guys just know their way around a guitar neck.
It's great. I love the way it starts. It's very tense. It's very, like, the build is brilliant. Like, the vibes on the video is banging as well. The whole, like, just blue and moody.
Very
the new vocalist is sounding like an absolute unit. He's proper hitting that low register, man. He sounds like Glenn Benton, dude. He's up there. This new Godeater EP might be Vital Remains 2.0. Let's go. Like, it's absolutely brilliant. There's a really cool like chorus style thing going on, but it's there's like a sprinkling of maybe a Fit for an Autopsy going on in here. It's epic. It's still tech death. There's some phenomenal cleans. Like, it is such a tight package. It's like a 3.5 minute tech death ripper. It's just absolutely big up the boys, big up Ross,
big up the homies. Yeah, the clean, like, there's a bit you see in the video where the clean vocal part comes in, and you can see the rest of them are like singing along to themselves while they're playing. You know that these boys know that they're onto it when they come up with a catchy hook like that, and they're just like, this hook is the tits. Like, if you don't know Godeater, obviously Ross has been on the show before, he's a homie, but if you don't know them, they're massively underrated. If you're a fan of stuff like Fallujah or Rivers of Nihil, go and check out Vespera and All Flesh is Grass, their previous 2 records. These guys are awesome, but I'm looking forward to this new EP, and I won't have to wait for it very long because it's coming out soon. Absolutely sick to have the boys back. Sonny, I want to talk about an album that I've been losing my absolute pieces over the last few weeks. I am head over heels for this band. They're called Excide. They're a 5-piece hardcore band from South Carolina. Their new album is called Bastard Hymns, and it comes out on the 20th of November through Sharp Tone Records. I've had my little beady eye on these guys for a while, right? Their album Deliberate Revolver that they put out was very fun. I really liked it. It kind of got lumped in with the Turnstile scene a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like it was a lot more jagged and angular than that, so I feel like that wasn't quite right. But then when they signed to Sharp Tone, they put out this 7-inch, like 2-track, I guess, single called Humdinger, and the 2 tracks were absolutely brilliant. And ever since then, I've been like, pinning Excide, that band are going to do something incredible. And here we are with Bastard Hymns. I am absolutely obsessed with this album. I listen to it 5 times a day. Like, I'm so sold on this record, Sonny. I love it. You might have to go first because I'm way too biased.
Nah, I'm in, dude. Do you know what was funny is because I hadn't listened to it, and then a couple of days ago it goes, right, I need to listen to that album that you're going to talk about. So I was like, just what do they sound like? And you were like, it sort of sounds like Old Thrice. It sort of sounds like maybe it sounds like Comeback Kid. Maybe it sounds like old Alexis. And I was like, what? And you were like, sorry, like that doesn't make any sense. But to be honest, mate, that makes the most sense I've ever heard. Now listen to that record. It is, Old Thrice, Alexis, like proper, like early 2000s stuff, like a point in history, like not far away from like Tool and System just releasing a record. So like these brilliant melodic moments have these almost like interesting, like dark Eastern flair kind of things going on. It is such a brilliant representation of like 2000s gold.
Mate,
I love it.
absolutely.
I love it, mate.
Absolutely. I think they just have this like combination of punchy, like aggressiveness and bounce and energy, and then this like really awesome take on melody that all combine together. Mm-hmm. Like they're all elements that you hear all the time, but I feel like the way that Excide are combining them together, they're really creating something like properly unique and really interesting, really exciting. Like they could sound like Every Time I Die 1 second, they could sound like Thrice the next. Yeah. They could sound like At the Drive-In. They could sound like bloody Nickelback at some point. And there's all of these elements that come together that all feel really disparate, and they just manage to make them just all work in perfect harmony with each other.
Yeah, bro, the opening to Shine Through Blues, that feels like Oasis. There's like that's like the same thing that's going on in the Master Plan by Oasis. It's the like the strings and like the stuff that's happening. Like it literally is like that, and it works so well. They are doing so much on this record, and I was just nowhere near ready to enjoy this anywhere near as much as I did.
I'm so
this
glad.
Is so much fun, dude. Just like proper like rocky anthems. And the vocalist, the singer, is phenomenal.
Dude.
He is hitting things that like people wish they could. Like a lot of bands that we listen to, when there is a sung part, it's somebody just like trying to do a sung part. Like they're like, right, we kind of want to do this. Can you do this? Or like it's them sort of like becoming good on record, and like maybe they'll like nail it by like album 4 or whatever. Like, but he's coming in with chops, bro. It sounds phenomenal. He's got it.
Absolutely. Like, can I tell you something that might upset you a little bit? The geezer who's the singer of this band, Tyler Washington, if Google is to be believed, is also the drummer of Foreign Hands. So imagine being like in 2 absolutely sick bands at 2 opposite ends, frontman and drummer, and killing both of them. But you're so right. Like his melodies are so unique and interesting. He's got a really wicked scream on him as well that works really well. like everything that's going on in this record, I'm into. Like, I don't know if you've seen the video for Cool Box. Like, they got their drummer might be the coolest dude alive. Like, he's literally just playing shirtless, covered in absolutely sick tattoos, and sucking on a Chupa Chups for the whole thing, which is absolutely rad.
Sick. That's sick.
I really wanted to like put together some really eloquent points about this Excide record to persuade people, like, you know, bring in a load of interesting comparisons and try and explain to somebody what it sounds like. But all I could really do is tell you that there's a few moments in, you know, the last 15, 20 years of my life when I've been listening to music, when I've got really excited about the perfect combination of heavy and melodic. There's like Let Live, Fake History. There's Empty Black by Greyhaven, Chroma Paragon by Moontooth, Moments Elsewhere by Johnny Booth. These are records that I've like lost my shit over, either like before the podcast or during the time we've been doing the podcast. And honestly, I feel like this Excide record might be up there with them. Like, I think in 2025, there's a real struggle to get the blend between heavy and melodic just right. You know, there's so many bands, you know, like Fit for an Autopsy, they inject melody into their sound, and it's absolutely sick, but they're still just predominantly a massive heavy band. Or like Turnstile, kind of move away from the riffs and kind of focus more on the melodic side of what they're doing. Also sick, but there's not enough not enough bands out there who are brave enough to take on heavy and melodic in equal measure, like Excide have on this record, and kill it like they have. Yeah, this is the reason that I like put my headphones on. This music like this is the reason I love the music that I do, and this Excide record has really like done a number on me. I absolutely adore it,
mate. The title track, "Bastard Him," is like proper like Mastodon like meets Every Time I Die, and it's sick. It like that. It earns the title of the album all day long.
Definitely.
Do you remember when we covered the last Code Orange record, the one that I didn't really like? I said
the Above or whatever it was. Yeah,
I said about the record that it felt like I'd got home from school, and I was flicking through the music channels at the time.
Yeah,
and at that point it was a bad thing because but not in it like it sounded like a bad version of that. This sounds like I've come home, like I'm in like year 10. I've come home, I'm flicking through like MTV2, Scuzz and Kerrang because they're the only channels that mattered at that time. They're the only channels you would find a riff on. This sounds like that in a good way, like in a properly
you used to have an
way.
Absolute hot streak, and you'd like hit a banger and then change the channel and hit a banger and then change the channel and hit a banger. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about, man.
Yeah, this sounds like that exact experience, but in a positive light. Like, I think this record is so much fun, man. I'm really glad that you got me to listen to it because I will be playing it a whole ass bunch.
I'm really, really chuffed.
It's going to be a great driving record, I think.
Oh, it is. It is. I've been jamming it in the car a lot as well. It's really good. Like, the track, when the track Pariah comes on, I just lose my shit, man. I can't hit those notes, but I'm having a bloody good try. Like, it's just a stadium-sized anthem, Pariah, but then it's got that like that twist at the end where it goes heavy. And there's so many moments in this record. Like, I love the bit in Your Flowers, which has got almost like a melodic punk rock kind of chorus, but then there's that bit towards the end where they threaten that there's going to be a breakdown, like it slows down. And then there's that like vocal, no love, and the breakdown comes in, but it's way faster than you're expecting it to be. Little things they do, these little tricks and these little like switcheroos that they pull on you. It's so good. Ruiner 95 is an absolute banger. Like, it's got this like Queens of the Stone Age filter on it. It's like an Excide track, but just kind of run through like a great big Queens of the Stone Age machine, and it works really, really well.
The Josh Hominator.
Yeah. the Hominator 5000. Yeah, absolutely. Mate. I love also the fact they've got like Down in the Mouth, which is just like this really hard track where they really focus in on the hardcore element of their sound.
Yeah.
And like you were talking about Shine Through Blues. I was thinking like these guys are from South Carolina. You know, they're also from South Carolina. He is legend.
He is legend.
So they must be fans of He Is Legend. You can't come from the same state as He Is Legend and not be into it, right? Surely.
I mean, I'd be making it a law. I don't know about other people. I'd be doing it,
passing it, running it through the Senate to make sure it became real. Yeah.
I'm an amendment to be, yes, an amendment to be, and I'm hoping that they'll ratify me.
Straight through. I'd be like, look, if you're going to buy this guitar, you are going to have to listen to Suck Out the Poison 3 times. It's just, I don't make the rules. I do make the rules.
I should. And then finishing your album on maybe one of your biggest bangers is like one of the ballsiest moves ever.
Hard move.
Like, Call
Hard
Box
move.
at the end is incredible. It's just putting that as your last track on your record is. I think it just shows that these guys know what they're dealing with, know how good their music is, that they can space their bangers like that. Just like, well, let's just put one of the biggest, most obvious singles as the last track on the record. Why not?
We're just reward.
That nuts. Yeah, we just got cojones that big that we're going to go for it.
Just a beautiful, beautiful dessert for the end of the album.
Absolutely, man. It's honestly, if this album had come out a bit earlier in the year, and I'd lived with it a little bit longer, I think it would probably be like threatening to be my favourite record of 2025.
Love it.
Absolutely adore
Love
it. But like, obviously, there's a lot of stuff that's been out that's absolutely fun. It's been a fantastic year for music. I mean, we'll be getting into sort of album of the year territory in the not too distant future.
Yeah.
Maybe I might be talking about this record again. I don't know, but for now, I'm obsessed. It comes out on the 28th of November, so if you hear this before you have the opportunity to actually listen to the record, it gives you more time to get even more excited about how awesome this Excide album is. Yeah, dude. Bastard Hymns by Excide. Go and check it out. You will not regret it.
Hell yeah.
Little bit of sneaky content at the end of the episode here. I was going to do a review of something the other week that I just wanted to shout out. It's a band who at the moment have 350 monthly listeners on Spotify. So you're getting in on the ground level. When I first started checking this band out, they had 150. So there's some people getting on board. I don't know if you've had a chance to listen to it some. The band are called Predeceased. They're a 3-piece sort of punk and roll band from London. And they put an album out on the 7th of November, and it's one of those like beautiful Ron Seal album titles. The album's called Weirdo Riffers, right? And that's essentially what Predeceased are. I think I discovered them because Harry from God Complex shared one of their songs on his Instagram story, and I was immediately drawn in by the band name. I was like, Predeceased, that's pretty fucking cool. Let's check out what this is. And it wasn't what I was expecting at all. This record is so much fun. This is a band who have got ideas massively above their station, right? Their album's just pure attitude. It's loaded with riffs. It's got this little sort of sarcastic twinkle in its eye. And they're just, I don't think people can learn to be cool, right? You're either born cool or you're not. And these guys in this band are one of those bands who are born cool.
Cool.
You just see. You remember, like, we used to watch like Gallows. You see Frank Carter, and you're like, whether I like it or not, that guy's cool. And there's no way anybody can deny that guy was born cool. And these guys are kind of living in that same world. They've got a bit of that early Gallows vibe to them. They've got a bit of Totally Unicorn about them, a bit of the Bronx. But then there's like moments in the album where they sound like Converge, and then there's also moments in the album where they sound like the Hives. Like, these guys are really, really interesting. The album's really diverse, really unique. It's got some absolute rages on it. Like, if you want to listen to something, want to really get down to like the grassroots of like just that next notch up from like a local band that you stumble across in the pub, but who are legitimately the bollocks, I really, really, really recommend you go and check out this Predeceased album. I think I've stumbled on a little hidden gem here, guys, and
amazing.
I just wanted to share it with the audio only crew, because that's what we can do now that we're going to be splitting the episode and doing videos and audio separately.
Yeah.
Check out Predeceased.
It's a Brucey
they're really
bonus.
cool.
It's a
Check out
Brucey
Weirdo
bonus.
Riffers by Predeceased. It's really cool, and I think
Hell yeah.
I think everyone deserves to know that this album is amazing. It's got a really really cool front cover as well. If you see it, it's like this really wicked animated image of them playing at their own show in like a tunnel. But then you look in the audience, it's like a Where's Wally thing where you see like there's a Mars Attacks Alien, there's that Dr. Zoidberg, you see Wayne and Garth from Wayne's World. I thought at first it was Ricky from Trailer Park Boys, but on further inspection, he's got like the lightning bolt for his face. Must be David Bowie. And then in the bottom corner, there's that Thomas the
There's
Tank
no way
Engine
you
getting in a mosh.
David Bowie for Ricky from Trailer Park
You
Boys.
see the picture.
That must
You
be
see
the only
picture.
time in history.
You see the picture. He's smoking a fag, and he's got slick back like hair. You understand why I made the mistake that I thought it was Ricky from Trailer Park Boys, and it was actually David Bowie.
Amazing.
Yeah. There's a little sneaky bonus one for you there, guys. I think that album is really, really cool.
Sick. That was a great big bucket of sick riffs that you should all go and check out. If you made it to the end of the
Bucket of
podcast,
sick.
give us a nice little sub. Have a comment. Write some things down. Write what you thought about all these brilliant records, and come on down to the Discord. It's full of beautiful people sharing fantastic music all the time. We'll be back next week. We'll be talking about phenomenal new music again. Absolute shocker. Love you. Bye.
Bye.